Hello and welcome to Connections Forum for Relationship Expression Healing. This is episode 56 with our special guest, Johan Claeys. Our show offers single episodes and short series of talks and interviews regarding the most important areas in human life, such as relationship issues, personal expression, and self-development, and as well healing in all of these areas. The purpose of our show is to give you inspiration and also teach you new skills with which you can handle the issues which are connected to our topics. And you can also watch all the replays on our website, hangoutonconnections.com. I am Margherita Crystal Lotus, and I'm an intuitive life and business mentor who helps professional women to overcome stress and some of the emotional challenges that happens in their life. And I also have a healing retreat called Enchantment here in Kingston, Ontario, where I invite my private clients for weekends and retreats. So, Heidi, over to you.
Yeah, hello. I'm Heidi Hornlein from the powerofrelationship.com, and I'm a transformational coach, a relationship counselor, and also a voice therapist and voice teacher. That's what I did for 20 years in the past. But now I work with people who don't feel yet fully realized in their life, and I help them to explore their full potentials and to live deeply fulfilling, happy relationships. I'm also the founder of the cultural association Paradisointegrale, which is also the house here in Italy. And it is the virtual space with which we do our hangout shows, the Wisdom Factory. And I'm together with my husband Mark here, and we hold retreats, and we will welcome you as guests if you come to Italy. So I think it's enough about me. I will talk about our guest. He is Johan Claeys, and he is the founder of A Pair of Wings, which happens to be the title of our show. He is a digital marketing strategist, and he's helping companies and entrepreneurs to implement self-powered digital marketing solutions. He's a coach and a trainer and implementer of communication, collaboration, and broadcasting solutions related to digital marketing. But don't think we are talking too much about this technical stuff. There are other shows out there which are already doing that. We are here, as Margherita said at the beginning, a forum for self-development. And we have invited Johan to share with us his journey, how he came into this idea of calling his company A Pair of Wings. And hello, Johan, and tell us a little bit more about you.
Hello, Heidi, and hello, Margherita. I would like to thank you for inviting me for your show first. Who am I? I am just a guy who is lives in Brussels, and I graduated with a business administration and public marketing and public relations bachelor. And I've been working for a long time in consulting and in IT, and I've been working for a Google reseller, evangelizing, in fact, the new ways of working from Google. Now, it's when I was riding my bike, because I love biking. It was during one of those bike rides that I listened to a podcast from Michael Stelzner, who was talking about Hangouts and about social media. And it was from there on that I was triggered with regarding to digital media. And I came quickly with the title for a business, which was A Pair of Wings. And there were 4 reasons why I have chosen that title. Perhaps you know the song from ABBA, which goes like, "Hi, hi, I'm a bird in the sky. I'm an eagle that rides on the breeze, and to go anywhere that I please. And that was something which triggered me about that song, because the idea was to start a business to help people to be able to work away from their computers, so they could live and work away from their desk. And that's why that song recalled me to that story, in fact. The second reason was a talk from Seth Godin, who was referring to the Icarus deception, where the father of Icarus told his son not to fly too high, because otherwise the wings would melt during to the rocks who would melt. But what everybody forgets is that he told also his son not to fly too low, because otherwise the water from the sea and the salt would damage his wings and he would fall into the water itself. So I did like that story where Seth Godin tells us that our comfort zone has been changed today due to the new changes which are appearing everywhere. And then, of course, I had also an uncle who was tutoring English in school, and he passed away for 15 years now, and he has written an English school book which was called A Pair of Wings. So this was also for me a huge reason to choose that name for the name of my business. So this is really, in a nutshell, why and how I came up with A Pair of Wings.
So today you are putting on your pair of wings and you are flying for the first time as a guest in the Hangout show, aren't you?
I am, that's true. This is really a challenge for me, because it's for the first time that I will be able to show my colors, and as they say, I have to show myself as I am, and all other seats are taken, I believe, so I have to be who I am. So that's why this is a very, very beautiful to take part for the first time in this kind of hangout.
Oh, so welcome in the Hangout community.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit, how was this journey to become able to do that? I mean, we met as viewers in the audience of another show, and you said, oh, I would like to be a guest in a Hangout show. But to make this step, this is a big step. How did you come there? What was the process?
Well, actually, it was for 4 years that I've been working for a Google authorized reseller, and when Google Plus launched, I saw Martin Sherrington starting with business straight away. It was one of the first of starting with Hangouts, and I was not immediately into Google Plus. In fact, I've been following her all along, but I was perhaps too afraid to join the Hangout community at that time. So I followed and I watched when I could Hangouts from everybody else. But I think at a certain moment I was triggered, and I had something like, well, I don't want to continue to stay along the line. I want to step in, and I did a shout out, as they say in English, and I'm very glad that Heidi has captured my shout out in order to invite me for the Connections Hangouts. So, and that's why I'm here today.
So kudos for the courage, because there are many people in Google Plus and who also are watching Hangouts, but they don't even show their face in the photo, let alone come on and make themselves seen. And you have done this step. There might be a reason behind it. Is there? What do you want to achieve by becoming visible, let's say in these words?
Well, I think I would like to be, or perhaps a lot of people are referring to what I'm going to say, but I think it's the most effective way to get connected with people is by showing yourself, by showing your face, and to really connect and get things done face to face. And that's the reason why I believe that this is a very, very effective way of connecting. And I believe also that Hangouts are the only way to be authentic, because this is a live broadcast, and I'm showing myself, I believe, I hope, in the way I am. I'm not acting. I'm not playing a show. I'm not on a theater play now. I'm here and I'm just talking and answering the questions that Margherita and Heidi are questioning me. So, and that's what I love about this technology.
Yeah. And you are not, you know, in a place where you can retry 100 times. You just have to launch yourself into what we are doing. There is no way to correct anything, and that makes it so challenging on one part, but also so interesting. You know, it's me as a singer. It is like at the beginning, it was like being on the stage and begin a concert. You know, when you are in the show runs. You have to find a way that it goes on, you know. You cannot stop and say, no, we do it again and again and again. No, you are here. And this opens up a lot of potential which we have, no? To become creative, to, you know, to overcome the blocks, even risk, to make, as we say in Italy, brutta figura. That means, how can we say that in English?
Cutting a bad figure.
He is saying, my English expert in the background is saying, what? Cutting a bad
figure.
A bad figure. Okay. So, you know, I mean, there will be people who are watching us and they say, oh, shit, you know, don't say that. And there will be other people who say, oh, good. So this is not in our power. We just have to let go of certain ideas of perfectionism and just, as you said, be ourselves, because trying to become somebody on the scene, somebody else, as we would be on the stage, the next time you are here, you don't remember how you were last time.
That's true. And
so there is a comment here from Nicole, and she says, loving the questions with genuine answers and share. So kudos to you.
Okay, good. Yeah. Hello, Nicole.
Hello.
Excuse me, you wanted to answer something, Johan?
Well, I was thinking previously that I could prepare myself for the Hangout, and all day I was reading and I was. But you can't rehearse a Hangout. You do have to need a script that I'm confident, and I do believe that, but you cannot rehearse. It's yeah, you have to go with the flow or with the air. Huh? When you spread your wings, you follow the breeze. You follow the breeze, like here. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm taking my wings and I'm flying, and I'm following the people who I believe are people who can inspire me, and that's what I love about Google Plus platform. It's one of the platforms where you can really have people inspire you on different levels.
Yeah, and you know, this is such a wonderful metaphor, because when you are flying and opening your wings, sometimes there come turbulences, and you might, but then you come into calm airs again, and everything is working. It's really such a wonderful paraphrase. How do you say metaphor? Margherita, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I also appreciate that when we are on the Hangout, when you come across genuinely, authentically, and have learned to actually shed those fears or whatever that's happening, then you can connect with people far more better. And I think that many people who want to do marketing or want to do some kind of business online, I think this is a good thing, that when we are authentic, we can also provide authentic products and services. So I appreciate you, Johan, because you have really brought that topic up. So what made you want to share yourself in that way?
Perhaps can you rephrase the question, because I didn't quite understand it completely. What do you mean with your question?
Yeah, so when did you discover that you needed to share yourself and then share yourself genuinely?
Well, I think it's quite obvious that we're evolving to a sharing economy. We're seeing it on the social platforms where we share everything we think that might be useful for anyone we know, and we see it also in the brick and mortar. We see that people are beginning to do car sharing. They're using, they're sharing devices, rooms, Airbnb. We see it also with Uber, taxi driving. So when you see all that, it inspires yourself also to get a different look at things and to see the things differently. As a point from and to step out your comfort zone, and one of the greatest ways to do that is through sharing. You step out comfort zone and you share. So and that's, for me, even for me, it's not always evident to connect and to share and to comment and to participate and to invite. So it's a mind shift, in fact. So and that triggers me, and that inspires me to see how people are really opening themselves and sharing everything to everybody, in fact. So, and that's very beautiful. It was unimaginable 10 years ago. When I see it now, it's unimaginable what we see today, and it's very beautiful. I think it's very promising as well. So I'm very, very confident.
It's nice. Before I answer to what you said, I want to bring another comment from Nicole, and she says, we cannot rehearse being ourselves. Hangouts are great at showing people the way they are at that particular moment, and I fully agree with that. Yeah. So, and what you were saying, Johan, I think, you know, we are at the beginning of a process of this mind shift. And what we are doing, every one of us, I mean me and Margherita too, to step up, go out of the comfort zone and come and do these things, become visible, you know. This is, we may be one of the first, some of the first people to do that, but we are sort of beginning a process of shifting. And we are helping this process to go ahead. This shared economy idea, you know, the sharing idea, to coming to be together, to have this worldview, all-embracing worldview, this understanding that we are not separate and that we need to work together to survive at the end, you know.
That's
so true. We don't need to be already perfect in that, not at all. We do one step after the other. And you have done the first step in this. We have done it a year ago, Margherita and I. After a year, we feel already, I mean, I can only talk about myself. I feel quite confident and, well, to be seen. And there are sometimes people who don't like what I do. As I said before, okay, that's not my problem, you know. There are enough others who like it, so. And, you know, this was, for instance, one of my problems. I always wanted to be the good girl in my past and make it right for everybody. And normally, when you go out, you cannot make it right for everybody. And then, you know, come these setbacks. And then normally I would have hidden and I would have waited a long time until trying again, because it was all like a personal failure. And now I've understood that's not. You know, it's something very impersonal behind that. And we all have to do these steps. There are the other people which we think they are extrovert and it's easy for them. Maybe that is easy for them, but to stay in front of a camera. But are they themselves always? I think they have to do the same work to become themselves and not just to play a role. And in some ways, I think introvert people, like you said, you are an introvert person, have a much more possibility to really remain themselves and not enter into playing theater, you know?
Yeah, that's true. You can't even if you would try to play it, to act not as yourself, people will see that. People will recognize and see that's not the Johan that I need to see. That's not the guy which I would like to know, because it's not true. He's not showing his native, his true colors. And so I think it is just great with Hangouts that that by repeating this, people get to know you more and more, and get to know you, the real Johan, or the real Heidi, or the real Margherita, and that's really beautiful. For example, when I first saw Ronnie Binzer, I thought, that's a weird guy. Who is that? That's a weird guy. But when I see the different Hangouts that he has already done, I believe I can trust Ronnie. I trust Ronnie. I know him. I know how he is, how he laughs, and how he thinks really about things. So that's a kind of authenticity that's so beautiful, and that I'm fond of. So if you tell to me that you're doing this show already for a year, well, what I see is a real Margherita and a real Heidi. So after 60 shows, you get the hang of it. You know how to talk, how to discuss. You know what are the triggers for people. So yeah, that's what I like very, very much about social media in general. And I wanted to
really get the hang of it, Johan, and you're showing the real you, because I could feel your vulnerability here, and you're willing to step up and share who you are, and let people look into your heart. That's going to mean a lot for your business. I mean, what do you think? Would you buy something from somebody who is vulnerable but strong, or somebody that you feel deceiving you all the time and put up a mask?
Yeah, the question, you're answering the question yourself. It's clear that you go for authenticity. That's clear. But you can only think, I think you can only be authentic when you are doing something which you are passionate about. So I think when you do something where you're passionate about, you're feeling constantly in your element, and you lose every notion of time. And that feeling, when you have that, I think, because you can be great in different things. I love to ride my bike, that's clear. I love to cook. I can cook very good. I love to cook, but it's not my passion. You see, that's not my passion. Doesn't lie in the kitchen, nor does it on the bike. Although I do love to ride my bike. So that's a little bit of difference between being in your element, or to have your passion, or doing something which you're great at. So that's. And when you're passionate, well, you're authentic, I believe. I believe that you're doing the things you like to do, and you lose every sense of time, and okay, you don't think anymore. You're really flying. Yeah, you're flying. How you call it, in autopilot, as you say. You don't think anymore. You got that feeling that you're really above everything. You got everything on control. I think it has a name. I don't know.
I think you are talking about flow state, the state of flow, where you really, it's connected with your inner stream, let's say. You know, you have sort of led me into another question. What is your passion? What do you want to bring out via Hangouts?
Well, my passion is, in fact, to try to use Google technology, in fact, to help people to become people, but also businesses, to become more social as a business, and therefore I wanted to do it through different stages. By first planning for social and for content marketing, and then to create a hub. So I would like to help them to create through Google Apps, Google for Work, the different hubs that they need. It means a podcasting hub, the vlog, a YouTube channel, the blog, and also the sites, the websites. And I do it all through Google products because it's all interweaving. And that's the reason why I have made my website in Google Sites and not in WordPress, for example. And I use Blogger, again, a Google product from Google for blogging. So I use really at a maximum the portfolio from Google. And of course there is also growing, that's pure content marketing with a focus on Google+. And then there is measurement, because you need to measure your interactions with your audience on your blog and your website. And that's more the web analytics part. And then we have the last stage, which is repurposing, which means that you have to try to repackage your content and to give it to your audience in a pure individual way. So you're going to uplift your content to really very good quality content that you're able to share by repurposing and repackaging your story, so you can amplify a story. And that is what I'm passionate about. In fact, to be able to go with a business through these different stages. You can do. There is a strong focus, which I said. First, it's about self-powered. So it means that we try to put the solutions with as much automated as possible, because you can lose a lot of time by doing social. It takes a lot of time even to prepare a Hangout. I can imagine that this takes a lot of time to prepare, not only before a show, but also the after work you have to repackage the content, for example, from this Hangout. So that's very important. That it's self-powered, but also with maximum control, so that you are behind the driver's seat and that you have a real good insight of what's happening on social with regarding to your business. And third is also the ability to fly away from your desk, so be able to live and work away from the desk and to fly wherever you please, in fact. And last but not least is also the environment, reduction of our carbon footprint, because you can imagine with Hangouts that we can reduce enormously our carbon footprint. I'm not going to take the car to Heidi to do my sales pitch. So it doesn't work like that anymore. so we have Hangouts now to communicate and to know each other and get things done, and that's just great. I love it. So.
This is a wonderful vision. I thought only some days ago, probably in 10 years, the business owners will give up the immediate control on the time of people and allow them to work at home, and then probably you would need a different way of evaluating the work, but we could solve so much problems with which are now so evident. We still have to go to, to meetings. They still have to go in their big palaces to see their to stay there 8 hours a day, which they could do at home, and in their own way, in their own schedules. I think there will be a big change. And you think that Google is on the way to give us the tools for that?
Well, I think not only Google, because I'm very fond of Google as well, but okay, I do appreciate every technology who can help us doing things in a better way. So I'm focused on Google because, okay, I like the offering, but I can understand that there are also other products which will help us out in doing things in a better way. Perhaps I can illustrate this with a story. I live at perhaps 2 kilometers of one of the most dense rail how do you call it, ways, traffic ways of Belgium, and there are always traffic jams. And when I came home one day, I said, well, actually, if I have to go to a customer, I need to take the car. And when I go to the customer, I will tell my story. And when I arrive at the customer, and he will say, wow, that's a great story, Johan. We're very, very impressed. But unfortunately, we are very pleased with how the things work now, so we can't do any business today with you. And then you have to return and to go back in those traffic jams to return to your office. And it's then that I have said to myself, I want to create on my website a system by which anyone can join me in a Hangout at a convenient time. So what have I done? I have developed a functionality to enable people to join me in a Hangout, even if they don't have a Google account. So you can imagine how many time you win if you can work like that. Huh? You don't have to take the car. You meet each other at the time when it's right for both of us, and you can communicate and collaborate together. So imagine also the savings on your carbon footprint. Huh? You don't waste oil, and you don't waste on your car because you're using the car as well. So yeah, it's
also your nerves. You save some of your nerves when you are in a traffic jam. You know, all this anger.
Yeah, you're not stressed, huh? And also you cannot forget anything. When you arrive at a customer, it could be, gosh, I forgot the offer. But when you're in a Hangout, yeah, you can take your document, which is stored in Google Drive, and share it with the person in question. And in fact, you can collaborate together on that offer, so you can tweak the offer together. So it's a whole other way of interaction that you have. And yeah, it's due to that discomfort that you're looking for new solutions, and that's what I love, because you see a lot of people looking for solutions. It triggers really innovation, and that's really beautiful. Just like you yourself with your show, are really opening the barriers for people through the connections, and yeah, you're really uplifting people and empowering people, and that's very beautiful.
So we can ask him, how do you feel now? Before you were nervous, and how is it now? Are you still trembling?
I think my fingers are. Am I still trembling? I don't see it here. A little bit, perhaps. No, I feel more comfortable. I got to admit. I don't know how many people are watching the show now, but I feel as if we're having a discussion one-to-one, face-to-face. And yeah, that's a great feeling, in fact. So I thank you very much for this show.
We should open the champagne, a new initiation for Johan. Another one for the Hangout community. This is wonderful.
The bottle? Where's the bottle?
Oh, I forgot to put it in the fridge. I'm sorry. Next time. So another question. I don't know, Margherita, do you want to ask him some question?
Well, I mean, I just had a comment that we actually had a little warm-up exercise before we started, because he literally was shaking, and then within just 30 seconds, he just came out and being his natural self right away. So I don't think that fear went really deep in your case, Johan. What do you think?
Well, it's always stress when you have to do a live broadcast, when it's live on stage, or when you're doing a seminar or a workshop. But this is really different. This is not like being on a stage. You don't know how many people, you don't know what their comments are, the interactions that you're going to get, the feedback that you're going to get. So it's another way of being yourself. Let's put it that way. So
this is really wonderful. I wanted to ask you. Anyway, you have suggested we could offer that to people to make them comfortable preparing for a Hangout show.
Yeah,
and
why not?
overcome the blockages. I remember when we had the private hangout, you already were talking to me about, oh, and what can happen and so on. And I did already some coaching with you, remember? I said, concentrate on the positive thing and not on the things which could happen, because otherwise you would sort of trigger, you know, the negative outcome. And this is one of our wisdoms, which we have discussed several times here already with other guests. When you are focused on what could happen, bad things could happen, you know, and you think it again and again, it's sort of like you attract these things to happen, you know. It doesn't mean when you think it happen, but you are not so, how to say, you are in a completely different space when you are set up in a positive way, in a possibility space. And if something has happened, okay, it's happened. We will see how it works. While when you are in the other space, in the fear space, you know, something has happened and the total collapse. And I'm really glad that you are the way you are. And you know, I wanted to tell you, when you talked about your work, I saw it in your face. You were radiant. This is your passion. And what I want to ask you is, how do you work with people? And who would be interested to work with you?
I think every entrepreneur, let's say, put it that way, or every business who wants to uplift and automate these digital marketing efforts through Google solutions is, in fact, can appeal on a pair of wings. Let's say, put it that way. But the strong focus is in fact on community building. So I think it's very important that, and that's what I want to do is really helping these businesses to better listen and to better monitor and engage with that audience which is talking about their products actually and about their business on the social media, and to find the ways and the tools and to give them the tools to engage with that audience and to invite them to join the community so that so these people can share their experience together. So and that's something where I would like to participate in. So be able to show the tools and the directions to follow across Google for Works product offering, to show the right tools to be able to realize that goal, in fact, and which is it's really to build a community. And for me, this is also a challenge because I have to build my community as well, just as you do, Heidi and Margherita. And so this is for me also a challenge, I got to admit. So.
And we have a comment here.
Yeah, this is Nicole. She's saying, being real and vulnerable. You did great. You have a fan here in the audience, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
This is good, yeah. And I wanted to add to that, you know, with your way of offering services, you won't attract everybody, but you will attract the people who are real too. You know, and I think you are, and people like you, sort of pioneers for a new way of being together, of doing business, you know. Not shouting all the time, oh, I have that and you need that, and if you don't do it, then in I don't know, you die or something like that, you know, all these horrible scenarios. If you don't take my product, then happens blah blah blah, you need to take it, and the best thing, it was yesterday because it's already over, you know, things like that. This sort of marketing, I think, I personally am really, I don't respond to it anymore, and this is a different way of, you know, offering what you do.
They call it interruption marketing, when you're shouting and calling and you have to buy, you have to come and visit us, I have to go to you and show you, and you have to buy at our store. I don't believe it works any longer. I think people are looking things in a completely different way, and if they want to know something, they have their moment of truth machines. Huh? So they look it up on Google search and they find immediately all the information they need. So yeah, so it's a completely new way of working, and you have to show your colors. You have to blog and talk and engage with people and comment and engage and interact, and that's the way to go. So yeah, that's
so you are a big encouragement for others who are still not daring to go out and still hiding behind these tips of how to do it and feel uncomfortable when they say, if you don't take my services, then you will, horrible things will happen. You know, really by being, and you are a man, this is still another thing, because when women do that, it's more normal, but men are supposed still to be, you know, strong and have it all ducks in the row, as they say, you know, and don't have any doubts and they know it all. This is the traditional role of men, and I'm so happy that you step out of that, because we won't go further. We see in our world where it has brought us all this certainty about how things work. I mean, we have very good things, but the side effects, they were never taken in account. So we are now the more vulnerable people are now here to, I don't want to say to fix it, but to balance these things. Thank you. It was a real pleasure to talk with you. And Margherita, would you like to ask or say your takeaway or whatever?
Yeah, my takeaway here is that there is hope for a better and more genuine, authentic communication between people all over country limits and on the other side of the planet and with our next door neighbor. It's a possibility that we can actually meet face to face, and Johan, you have really showed a really good example of how to do that in your very first Hangout. So I am very proud for your success here, and if anyone can be like Johan and have this openness and the heart space to actually build the relationship with clients or friends, that is so awesome. So I wish you really great luck, and I'm sure you're going to be very successful at it.
Thank you, Margherita.
I can add, I have the same idea, that this will be the future and you will be one of the pioneers to bring it out. And I'm really glad.
Well, I'm here, in fact, for friending first, so I find it very important to meet people and to have friends and to follow people. That's the and we will see where it leads. So that's so beautiful. It's every time when you start something, you step in it, but it's always different than you imagined. So and that's also beautiful, because you never know where you're going to end up when you fly. So
this is wonderful. It is wonderful, and sometimes you don't even need an airport, because you can also land on a grass or on a field. Okay, this was very, very nice. I thank you so much, and really, this was a great start into the future, and we will see where we will land and maybe also work together, because we would need some instruction about how to repurpose things. Don't we, Margherita?
Yes, for sure. So we can keep contact. And are we at the end, Heidi, or do you want to say something more?
No, I don't want to say. I'm happy. I'm just happy with how it went and how he felt comfortable, how he lost his fear, and the inspiration I think you have now to go and try and learn everything you need to learn. Technically, you know already a lot of stuff, and get the confidence and go out and do your own. Find your own tribe.
I would like to thank you both for giving me this opportunity. So it really is a boost for me to show more my colors and to step up. So thank you again.
Good.
We have Nicole saying, she says, great show, ladies, and I have to leave and head to another hangout, but she really loved how organic this hangout forum took place. I mean, this is so cool. Thank you so much, Nicole. And let's meet next week. We don't know what we have for topic next week, but it's, as always, on Thursdays. And thank you for coming.
Thank you. Bye-bye.